great, great. This is the original winner. I hope that you like being 6.5 for as long as you want to be. I got to be 12 years old for 30 years. This is the longest costume change in the history of the Wallace and Ladmo show. I told you, no photographs.
We are so excited to have Gerald coming back in the flesh to bring Expect More Arizona as a movement to our state. We think that it's an incredible opportunity that Pat McMahon himself has been willing to bring back this beloved character for the first time.
It's funny how the Wallace and Ladmo show is such an important part of being in Arizona and what it means to this state. And yet, only the people here in Arizona got to see it. So it's not only special because it was so darn good, but it was just for us.
Watching the show as a child, Gerald's just the brat who always got Ladmo in trouble, but as an adult, there's so much more about him to despise, and that all sort of came rushing back. Well, I watched the show as a child. That was the beginning of my history. My mother used to write in and say, "The humor is too adult, stop it." And then the last 5 years that the show was on the air, I was part of the show as a writer and an actor.
Pat and I, we were in the studio, and he said, you know, we were sitting in his chair getting makeup put on, and he says, "This is where I was sitting when I first saw the Wallace and Ladmo show." Well, this is first studio. It was the very first television studio in Arizona. It was KPHO, and it was at a very, very important regional station for many years, and then other stations came to the market. And this was sort of left to the radio industry, and it became offices and cubicles and things like that. And then in 2001, we purchased it, and we brought it back to a creative space. We brought it back to a television studio. We brought it back to the creative industry, and it was really great to have Pat back in the building doing Gerald.
Every child in Arizona deserves a world-class education because this is a world-class state. Oh, the reason I wanted to do this one, I was asked by Pearl and Randy because it was about education, and it's one of my favorite subjects, one of my favorite topics, and one of the things that is a part of everybody's life.
Education is the #1 driver for a strong quality of life for all of us and for the strength of Arizona's economic future.
Education is important to everybody, or at least it should be. Expect More Arizona is trying to raise the bar and provide a world-class education to all kids in Arizona, and I think that's reasonable and important.
We just have to stand up and demand that we do it. Quality education in Arizona, it's not miles away from where we are.
Every child has the potential to be incredibly successful, and it's our job as a society and as communities to support schools in ensuring that they have the resources and the public will that we need to help every child succeed.